You see me getting a shot of water. Shit.
Right. You're lying.
All right. Y'all come on in. PopKeys, get him a shot of this water. Got to get my boost tonight. I ain't had my gold water today. Put a little shot of this gold water in there. Oh, y'all should have some in your home. Understand? They'll kind of some of them bad foods y'all giving. Keep them young soldiers and guys' minds sharp. Keep some of the evil thoughts away from them. You know, they sent the National Guard into Memphis. I seen the post today. They were them young soldiers. They were driving the tanks. Young black men in Memphis, Tennessee, they had left the keys in the damn tank and they was riding on the tanks. All praise due to Allah, in the most holy name of Almighty God Allah, who came to us in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, the great Mahdi, who was to come and has come to restore we who were lost from our own kingdom of Islam and to destroy those who have destroyed us. God, our God, O Allah, we are thy people. Deliver us from our murders. We serve and obey thee all the days of our lives, and we teach our children to submit to thee, to that unequal love and merciful thou. And thanks to you, O Allah, for making manifest to us our enemy, the devil. Help us, O Allah, to live the life and die the death of the Muslim. I beg when there's no God but thee. I beg when there's the most honorable and humble Elijah Muhammad is your last and greatest message. The maker of gods all over America and the planet through these teachings of the most honorable, humble Elijah Muhammad. I pray Allah, you move the heart of the devil and place it with ones like their homes. So thank you, Allah, for coming to us in the person of Master Muhammad. I thank the most honorable, humble Elijah Muhammad for raising up great men and women that expounded on these teachings that are given to you by the great Mahdi to lift us all up out of the belly of the beast. And it's our time to rise and shine and take over, because America is doomed to be taken out. Black people. Assalamu alaikum. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. You know, I missed last Wednesday. You understand? The devil had me locked down. They had PopKeys locked down for a few days. I know y'all wonder, what the hell you for PopKeys? Oh, they had me for my license wasn't right. And they got me on the Wednesday. I got out there Saturday night. But, you know, I ain't bragging, I ain't fagging, I ain't macking, I'm just fagging, telling you all that this symbol of the sun, moon, and stars and other universe and the name Muhammad, very powerful. I myself know to be a very powerful being. And they had me in the kind of jail. But you would think I was Barack Obama or somebody, but they gave me so much honor and respect because I had my brown crown with the gold, striped sleeves coming down on the pants, you know, suited and booted all the time, pretty much. And police were calling me Mr. Muhammad. Throughout the whole ordeal, they gave me so much respect. And they gave me a bond. He said, well, your bond ain't gonna be for 500. But they had told my truck and stuff. So I called Colleen, that's my daughter. She got my truck out for me. So I said, well, I'll ride this out anyway. It ain't nothing. They got me driving without a license, so I ain't worried about this charge. Shit. Dig what I'm saying? But they gave me a chance to see the insides of these jailhouses of America again. 95% of them people that's locked up with us. I only seen 3 white individuals out of all the brothers, young brothers, Latino brothers that was in these jailhouses. Most of them filthy. You know, DeKalb County, I said, well, y'all got me in the world famous jail, huh? I told that to the police. Oh, he didn't say nothing. He's a brother, though. But mostly black people running these jailhouses. You got a lot of sisters up in there. And I recognize the fact some brothers, they need a break from time to time from the world. Some of them be wore out, be dusty. Some brothers slept for 2-3 days. So they roll up on the floor, on them concrete benches and just sleep. They try to catch back up with their rest. But they gave me so much respect because I carry myself as a powerful being on this planet. Everyone should have a crown, to be honest about it, because they recognize the power when you wear that. They recognize that you're a civilized human being and you part of creation itself. And I always talk in the military manner, yes, sir, no, sir. Even though you might be the police or what. So they took me on, locked me up with even the young soldiers gave me 100% respect. When I come in with my mat, they said, let me get that for you, Pop. So I'm like, take. So, you know, cell 2 is good for you because I wasn't nobody else, another brother. And so I went on in and they come to my cell. Pop, you Muslim? I said, yes, sir. You know, we said everything good here and a lot of foolishness going on. You know, Latino brother, Nico, them come by the cell, hollers. You got to worry about nothing with you. I said, well, I ain't worried about that, brother. One of the brothers said, my name is Musa. He said, yeah, because I know you don't feel no one by the law. I said, yeah, you got that correct, bro. You know, but a lot of honor and respect when you carry yourself as an upright human being, because I walk in the door, soldier in, soldier out. But you know, I'm a God. That's just the bottom line. Even when I went to see the judge, and she was a sister. And so when I stepped up, I'm standing on the square. You know what I mean? Because I was sitting on the square. And she said, how you doing, Mr. Muhammad? I said, I'm doing pretty good, Your Honor. I could be doing a little bit better. And she broke down. She just set me a bond and stuff like that. I said, well, Your Honor, I would like to request a SOR. That's a signature bond where I just signed to get out on my own without having to put up no money. I had about $300-400 in my pocket anyway. I wasn't trying to spend my money. Hell, no, I getting ready to come on up out of it anyway. So she said, well, I can't do that right now. But she said, don't even worry about it, but you good. So I took that as a sign. She telling me, I got you. So I had sit them 48 hours. So they come got me that Saturday night, which was Friday night, about 1 o'clock. Bumped and jumped. One of the young brothers said, brother, I got you mad. He took it on outside the cell door, the dorm door, and set it down. They walked me on down. I was changed back into my uniform and stuff. Officer told me, man, I like that uniform. I said, yes, sir. So they let me out about 1:30, 2 o'clock. I walked on out down Memorial Drive and walked down a quick trip, called me a lift ride, and came on into the house. You dig what I'm saying? But they got so many of our young brothers locked up, a lot of them in there on a bunch of foolishness, petty crimes. Some brother, they had one brother though, young brother in his early 20s, but they was messing with him because they would lock him up in the holding tank. They would go in there and put the chains around his waist and the handcuffs. They just moved right next door to another hold. So I said, now you normally don't put a man in the holding tank, especially with other men, and he handcuffed, nobody else handcuffed. So they come take the brother back out and then take it back to the same holding tank. Then they come with the belt, big old strap. They wrap around his waist, and then they would have him stand there and they take it off. They did that about 2 or 3 times. Messman, I don't know what his charge was. He might have had some deal with the police. And I'm standing there looking, and he threw me a couple signs and stuff like that. Throw a couple back. You understand? We automatic connected, but we got to find a way to change our conditions in this country. Black men are being directly targeted. And a lot of times we put ourselves in our enemy's hands through our deeds and our actions, not having the knowledge of self. And these brothers, they feel as young men. That's what I like about them. They fearless. And you see the God's spirit in them. It just has to be brought out. Then we need a system in place where our brothers don't have to be criminal minded. So a lot of brilliant minds are locked up in the jailhouses of America. You got something that don't need to be let out. A lot of them have that mindset that they don't want to change, they can't change, or a detriment to society, but you don't see a whole lot of them. You got a lot of brothers that's mentally ill and become violent, walking like zombies. But we had to bring about a change for ourselves, like I told you last week. We had to master ourselves and qualify ourselves to take charge. Because God, whatever name you want to put on, that's what you believe in, is getting ready to give it to us. And those power to be know they doomed now. Give you an example with this white boy they call Charlie Kirk. Straight, avowed, racist. Last few words come out of his mouth was gang violence. But he was talking in such the way they need to have executions televised. He was talking about us and required for their children to watch it. Just like when they used to hang black men back in the day with this strange fruit hanging from trees, and they would come and watch it. And that's why I don't use the word picnic, pick a nigga, cut ears and pieces of that brother that was hanging on that tree and take it back with him. It's the same type of mentality. But what I want to explain a little bit before I go into the subject matter is that, and I'm not going to be long with you, is that these white boys are divided. Mr. Kirk, Charlie Kirk, he was just about 31, 33. He would go around to all the college campuses and recruiting young white students, male and female. And you had some young blacks that were supporting him, but he was supporting the Zionist lobbies, where the billionaires were supporting this turning point movement, and he was a great organizer. So they had the biggest turnout in this election of young people supporting Trump. But remember, these billionaires that were supporting him are Jewish Zionists, and his ideology was to push the Zionist ideology. Now you got to look at this. Trump is so-called MAGA, white nationalists. White nationalists don't like the Zionist movement. they don't like the Jews as well as they don't like the black man. This one that they rounded up and put before us, talking about he killed or shot Charlie Kirk. Personally, I don't think he did it because ain't enough information came. They just convicted this white boy already because it was a neck shot. You had to be a highly trained sniper to make that shot. A neck shot from the distance from where he was at. And I'm going to try to bring this together. His father was an ex-police officer, a heavy supporter of the MAGA movement and Trump. He turned his son in, so they say. But his woman, or whatever you want to call her, was supposed to be a transgender. He's not cooperating with the authorities. They went in there and said they found all these things, but how do we know he's the shooter because they said it was? But he was falling out of grace with the Zionist movement. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? He was pulling away from Israel, trying to align himself more with the white nationalist movement, which is Trump boys. So the way I look at things, since his biggest supporters was Netanyahu and his people, and he was moving away from them. They were pulling away, and he was backing away. But you got to look at who's running America. It ain't Trump. It's not Trump. It's Netanyahu and the Jewish lobbyists. Trump, Netanyahu running America. The Mossad agency and the CIA is like this. Do you know that they planted tracking devices on the Secret Service response team that directly attached to Donald Trump? Do you know that they planted listening devices around the White House and various places in Washington, D.C., so they can track the conversations of the President of America? Do you know, really, they say President Trump is afraid for his own life? Because remember what they did in Lebanon. They waited over a year and a half. They had put explosive devices in their cell phones. Then you got to understand, I'm trying to break it down where you all can understand the political process in foreign affairs. Trump them snaked Iran. They had them at the negotiating table. And Iran let their guards down thinking they were going to negotiate, but it was a setup. They killed their top echelons of their military. And some of their scientists, when they bombed them, made a surprise attack. And they had that 12-day war. Now, General Suleiman was a diplomat. He was not supposed to be attacked in Iraq, but they murdered him. The other Hamas leader, Haniyeh, was bombed in Iran. But this will cook the cake. Trump came out about a week ago saying that he wanted to cease fire. They want to release all the political prisoners. They want to bring aid back into Gaza for at least 60 days. Hamas accepted the agreement. Israel never spoke on it. But Trump say, I want you all back at the negotiating table in the Doha, because Qatar had been doing this process for years, even with Afghanistan, with the Taliban. They helped negotiate that deal to stop the war in Afghanistan. So they had brought all their negotiating team, even the runners that take the message back in Doha, in Qatar, after Trump then said that we need to come back to the negotiating table and get everybody back to the negotiating table in this one building. And Israel sent their jets. And America gave Qatar a warning after the bombing. Either one or two things that happened. Either they played their trick knowledge because their greatest trick knowledge is on the planet, or either Netanyahu tricked Trump. I think they was in conclusion together. The reason I can say that because when they sent Marco Rubio into Israel after this bombing, what did you see Marco Rubio doing with Netanyahu? Kissing the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem, bowing to the Jews in Jerusalem. They run America. Now I can understand why certain things took place in World War II. People. Then after that, once they shot Charlie Kirk, they sent a psyop message out to the historical black colleges and universities, talking about that was a threat on the black colleges. But that was a distraction. You understand? To throw you off. Because they already been had that on their mind. But it would distract black people because we easily distracted. And the American public. They run a big game. If you don't understand where to get your information and understand foreign policy affects us directly in America. How many times are we going to send boots on the ground to fight for these people? Then they came up with, the white nationalists came out with a political bill saying that it should be against the law for American citizens to go fight for another country. Because you got a lot of young Jewish, young men and women going into Israel to fight for Israel, but they're American citizens. This is what they mean by a civil war. This is the divide between the white nationalists that's running America right now and the Zionist movement. Because they don't want these Jewish boys calling shots in America. Then they got the Congress and the Senate is bought by AIPAC. You only got about 5 or 6 senators and congressmen that's not up to direct control of the Jewish lobby. They finance their campaigns. So they answer to them. This is what our people got to understand, how this game is being put down and how we are caught in the middle. But they're going to fight one another. So this is what we need to let them do. Let them ball out. But the only problem we have is we're not connected to any resources. We're not connected to the food source because all our food source come from who? All our power source come from who? You understand? They're going to close ranks. Scientists movement going to close ranks, take all their resources, and the white nationalist movement that Trump is heading is going to take all their resources. What that leave us at? They train their youth how to use weaponry. They teach them how to go out there and hunt down deers and suck the blood, cut the animal open and suck the blood of the heart of the animal. I'm not saying we need to do all that. It ain't necessary, but it's in their nature. But what we going to do when they take control of all the resources, cut the power off, cut the water off, when the food stop coming into the inner cities of America? We're not prepared for any of these things. We're talking about everything but taking over. How can you take the American flag and fly it at half mast for a known, stunched down racist? How can you, at the National Football League games, you understand, drop the flag half mast and y'all have a ceremony for a man that called for the death and destruction of black people in America. How dishonorable and disrespectful that was to the black men, the black people, the black players that play on these football teams. They put it in our face. We got the power. We got the control. We sign your check, my boy. Then get your behind back out there and do a good job on Sunday night football. Think about how they doing us right now with the white nationalist movement and the Zionist movement. They already got tanks, they say, in Memphis because our youth are out of control, running wild like they're in the jungles some damn where. I seen the young brothers that they was all over them tanks that they had left on the streets. So they messed around there and left the damn keys in there. You understand? They driving the damn tanks. A seemingly great army could be in the making. Well, we got to get to our young youth and put some sense in their head. The killing that's taking place in our community is going to have to come down. But you know, brothers, like I heard from the teaching of the most honorable Muhammad Elijah Muhammad, it's the gods. Gonna have to go in and clean it up. Y'all talking about everything but that. You understand? We got to go in the front, confront our youth. You understand? Because we got some killers too. Stone cold blooded killers that know how to get the damn job done, but that ain't for our youth. But it might have to be. We might have to snatch some of that leadership. You understand what I'm saying? And sit them down. Send in our troubleshooters. Look what y'all causing in our cities. But y'all running out of control. Shooting these little cap guns, killing the innocent people, and giving them an excuse to come in and murder. Are you? Because your ignorance, you don't know, you don't know. You understand? Because you believe in the gun. Them switches ain't nothing. They got some technology that look dead in your house, partner. They got technology they can switch on your phone, know exactly where you at, partner. You ain't trained for warfare. You ain't trained for guerrilla warfare. They've been trained for guerrilla warfare for a long time, having maneuvers in various cities across America, coming in up under the disguise of fighting crime, and they're the biggest criminals on the planet Earth. Done stole everything. They ain't earned nothing. They done stole the land, stole the people, stole the knowledge, and tried to erase the history of their criminal activity. Now, brothers and sisters, it's a big setup. So I say, if we run a renaissance, if we want a so-called revolution, we got to start in-house. And a lot of these young brothers, you come right, they looking for the proper leadership. They're looking for some men that they can look up to and show that respect to. You understand what I'm trying to say? Well, where we at? Y'all were calling the young brothers that said they wasn't scared of the National Guard. Y'all were going along because you say you ain't scared of them. That don't make you a thug. But y'all using that terminology on these young brothers say they wasn't scared. Why they had to be a thug? Because they wasn't scared of the white man and his military. We got divine technology on our side. Them so-called unidentified flying objects, they ain't from outer space. They from right here on Earth. black man, black woman. They from amongst us. We got divine technology amongst us that the white man could never admit to. Because if he did, it would mess up the mind of his people. We got technology thousands of years ahead of him. Out the black nation. They ain't from outer space. They from right here on earth. That's why I talk the talk I talk and walk the walk I walk. Because I had that divine knowledge to know exactly who the hell I am and what's coming. We just need to get to our youth. We need better fathers. We need more courageous men to get that fear up out of them. And we need better mothers. We need better mothers. The first nurturers. Get y'all behind about these damn streets and get you behind back in the house and carry some knowledge. Put something on your cap. Black man provide an environment that's conducive to our nature. We should be able to provide food, clothing, and shelter. Build our own home, set up our own trade school. I say little Ben is setting up a trade school, which I commend him on. We can make our own homes. We can bring in our own technology to serve us. We can provide opportunity for our own children. We can educate our own children. Get on top of the AI situation. They say they got 1.5 billion so-called Africans that ain't even on the net anymore. They're outside the system now. In Zimbabwe, they got an autonomous flying taxi that can carry 2 people and only take 2 hours to recharge. What are we waiting on? Another 4 years to vote? Get the same old okie doke? The same old fear mongering? Trump ain't running nothing. Netanyahu and the science lobbyists run America. Netanyahu and the science lobbyists control the Congress and the Senate. Black man, black woman. The Epstein file was a Mossad operation. Epstein, that's you. They got Trump tied in. They got the juice on it. You can't do nothing but keep trying to hide them files. Mossad got information on all these so-called political leaders and these black leaders. AOC out of New York came in all this ideology. What's she gonna do? Quiet as a church mouse now. They financing her now. Bought and sold. No, the system needs to change. We need to change the system now. Whoever you sitting there gonna be co-opt. Need a complete change. That's why my thing is TakeOver Time. Brother asked me, say, PopKeys, what's stopping us? Fear? Fear from slavery? Your mothers teach you fear? Try to keep you alive? But you should fear no one if you had the right belief. No one but that true and living God. You can call him Jehovah, Yahweh, or whatever, Allah. It ain't but that one called by many names. We're going to all die one day, so said the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And he didn't have to tell you that. But he said, if we lost 20 million to free the rest, so shall it be. We should be tired of being ruled by an open enemy that refuses to let us go. He don't have any creativity in him. He can't bring anything new onto the planet unless it come out the mind of the original people. That's why he's holding on to us. Refusing to let us go. The Nation of Islam brothers, we should be taking charge of our posts and all temple properly in view and walking our posts in the perfect manner. Always keeping on the alert. We should be setting up industry all throughout America. You should be becoming the executors of the teaching of the most honorable Muhammad Elijah Muhammad. You got a man in your midst, very honorable, a great man, Minister Farrakhan, is sitting there waiting on to see what his believers going to do while they're still here. There's thousands of you all should be putting money into a pot, pooling the resources, and say we open up this over here, we open up that over there, this over here, and continuous motion, continuous execution. So you got one brother over here to open up another over there. No, brothers and sisters, what are you waiting on? What are you waiting on? The most organized group of black people, most upright that don't smoke, don't drink, don't do none of this foolishness in America. They got the knowledge of self, got divine knowledge about the divine protection. What is the problem? Because, you know, for one thing, we don't like to support one another. We go spend our money with the devil and talk about it. For those that are pushing the agenda of freedom, justice, equality, peace, love, and happiness, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, y'all don't even support like that at all. You talk about your problem with your children and your sons and your daughters. For those that are trying to change the culture, gonna change it. You don't come with no resources, come with all the problems and the issues. Some of you that fell back and got these teachings of the most honorable Muhammad Elijah Muhammad, you won't even buy a crown. Y'all wear all the team sports for the Raiders and New York Yankees and all this type of stuff. Y'all don't buy a crown. Talk about if you don't use it, you lose it. Well, you're going to lose the teaching of Muhammad Elijah Muhammad if you don't use them and start executing. We share a brotherhood where we start supporting one another in whatever area that we can. I see little brother locked down. I admire little Yusuf Bey because he's still soldiering. Been down for some time. They got caught up with a young man, but he ain't turned his back on the teaching of the most honorable Muhammad Elijah Muhammad. You understand? He still want to affect change, and he in the jailhouse of America. Understand? A lot of brothers walking around here free as a jaybird and forgot about the teaching of the most honorable Muhammad Elijah Muhammad, just riding on the name now. But so shall it be. Because it's already been predicted of what's coming. Everybody gonna have to go back to his own. And I want to tell you, white America, you're gonna have to go back to Europe. Yes, you are. Everybody gonna have to go back to their own. But you gonna have to go back to Europe. You're not welcome. No place on the planet now but Europe. What you talking about, Bashir? Let me tell you what Elijah Muhammad says. Y'all going back to Europe. Talking about we going back to Africa. Hell, I wouldn't mind going back home because the black man over there is stepping up and the richest continent on the planet and the next superpower. But what y'all got in Europe? You're already riding over there in France. Germany ain't nothing but a skeleton of itself. England ain't nothing but a big old island. Ireland ain't got nothing but some damn Irish potatoes. Denmark and Sweden, talking about sweets. Swiss chocolate. Where you get that chocolate from? The motherland. You don't grow no damn chocolate nowhere. You understand? Copenhagen and Belgium. Talking about you got the diamond market. Where you get them diamonds from? The motherland. How can you operate them cell phones and them computers and get them chips? Where you get that from? The cobalt and everything. Huh? The uranium. Out the Congo. Going back to Europe. This ain't racism, this fact. It says, now I want y'all to listen. I ain't gonna hold you long. But if y'all want to drop something in that cash app, you can do that though, which I know you won't. Plagued by God, America is doomed. I'm just giving you, I ain't got to make up nothing. Fall of America in full effect now. Plagued by God, America is doomed. With the end of the rule of the white race over, the black man of earth in sight. Face to face, we have to deal with each other according to the actual facts which exist between the two nations. It's two nations, the black and the white. With the nature and desire of the white race to continue their rule and subjugation of the darker people, even though the white man recognizes these facts, he will continue to try holding on to his rule. He's trying to hold on now. His subjugation, his thinking of what he has acquired under such rule, that which is his, and he cannot give up the prey. His concession, his merchandise, which he has explained out from under the nose, exploited out from under the nose and eyes of the real owner, the black man. You know, when they pulled me over, I originally listened to this cut that the sister made on reparation. And she was saying something, we don't want your dollar. She was saying, we want what you got because it's ours. And I was just playing it over and over and over again, and up for the devil. You did what I'm saying? But she right. We don't want your dollar. Keep your damn dollar. We want what you got because it's ours. You understand what I'm saying? It's takeover time. Keep that funky paper. Give back that which belongs to us. He is willing to shed the blood of his own people and that of others who hold on to that which he calls his legal possessions. The spirit aroused in the black man says no, that the continent and what is on and under the surface belongs to him and his people. This is the mindset we got to take home, the black nation. This spirit and knowledge is now not only confined to Africa and Asia, the black, brown, and yellow people, but it actually is now arising in the American so-called Negro, the true lost and found brothers of the black man throughout the earth. Whether it be Africa or Asia, he is the brother of them all. Understand? You the brother of every black, brown, red, yellow person on the planet, even though some of them deny us because they know where they came from. Even the Chinese deny us. You understand? Talk about the black Buddha, but it originated out of the black nation. Let me keep on going. It is the desire of the white race to continue to hold power and authority over black Africa, whether it is in Rhodesia, which is now called Zimbabwe, or elsewhere. They would just have to give it up. England, Germany, Italy, and France, especially England, France, and skeleton Germany, seem to be the diehards. Macron right now, they hate to come out of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Nigeria, and all the other places that they are colonized. But they got to go now. The white man in Rhodesia, which is now known as Zimbabwe, will be acting wisely if they would realize that one day, sooner or later, they must pack up and leave. Some of them have already done that, they've been told. Wherefore, I quote the Bible prophecy concerning the separation of the nations, again today, as it was before. Every man must go to his own. Read that again. I want y'all to listen closely now. Every man must go to his own. This is the clearest and most direct justice that God and man could agree upon. This is what God has agreed upon. Said this is the clearest and most direct justice that God and man could agree upon. The white man cannot live in luxury unless he has the black man and his place of possession in subjugation to his will. Otherwise, he'd still be in the dark ages, sitting in their palaces, defecating where they stand. They just move on. That's why they had so much sickness till they discovered the black man in the motherland. They came in like locusts and plague. We cannot make God and his prophet liars, nor can we reverse the time of their prediction in which these things would take place. So the time has come, and he knows it. Trump is the last stand. Allahu Akbar. The white race is facing doom because she will not act according to justice and righteousness, which was by nature, which was not by nature put in her. But this is known, and her race is frightened concerning her future, as we see here in America. Birthing rate is down all across Europe. The birthing rate is down in America. Not to offend nobody. That's why they coming up with the test tube babies now. You understand? They dying off in Greece. They got all them damn schools and no students. Think about that. All them schools and no students to fill them now. Because they are a dying race of people. That's why they're considered a race. A race has a beginning and an ending, so says the most honorable Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad. We're a nation. Understand the people. Time never was, but man was not. Think about that, black folk, but let me continue on and wrap it up. The white man recognizes coming doom, and many of them would rather die here than to go elsewhere outside of America. They would. They're going to fight tooth and nail. Ain't nothing in Europe to try to defend what they call their own independent sovereignty. Some have poured gasoline over themselves and committed suicide by setting themselves afire. That's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to have to do. They say, hey, I'm just facking. So y'all listen good, because they might cut this off after the night. This is a very new and open act of a people who want every other people, black, brown, yellow, and red on earth, to fight their wars to save their independence. And that's what we've been doing like a damn fool. The ruthless and brutal people like America, England, and Germany should be ashamed in this modern time to look for these people whom they have robbed, killed, murdered, and brought under subjugation by force, to think that today they should be so soundly asleep that they ignore the time and authority that they can unite, as the Europeans have been doing against black Africans, brown and yellow Asians, all over in the Koreans, try to go in North Korea. As the book says to the white race, as thou hast done, so shall it be done unto thee. As thou hast done, so shall it be done unto thee. And Michael Jackson used to say, now, man, go look in the mirror. See your doom. See the rise of the black man in America. See the rise of the Asiatic black man all over the planet Earth. We're taking control of our resources. And it took the gold back, the diamonds. All we got to now get the control of the Congo. Cut them damn resources off. People over there begging for food, scrapping in little tent huts with two sticks put together and the blanket thrown across it. I just see where 183 people died going down the damn Congo River and the damn boat capsized. Shame on you. Shame on you, Bill Gates. Shame on you, Amazon. Shame on you, Elon Musk, a straight Nazi, and in every country business now pushing that rightist movement, that populist movement. Well, they up in arms in Europe and London right now, protesting about immigrants. With Elon Musk leading the charge. So they ran him out of America. But let me wrap this up. The white man must return to Europe. Read it again. The white man must return to Europe and concentrate on that continent for his future. That's all you got coming. Or else concentrate on his death instead of his life. Let me read that back. This is spoken for Allah, the great Mahdi, the most honorable Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad, tell you what God has told him and showed him. The white man must return to Europe and concentrate on that continent for his future, or else concentrate on his death instead of his life, for they can no longer rule the black man. The black man must now know where his home is, and he now is rising up to take possession of that which is his. Let me read that back, man. Let me get as far as this. Go what? Now, this is the time we in, black folks. I know some of y'all don't want to hear, but that's your damn problem now. Some of you politicians don't want to hear this. It's a strong message coming straight from the divine. Some of y'all even scared to mention the word Jew. There ain't nothing anti-Semitic about me. I can't be against my damn self. But I'm telling you what time it is now. You've been warned. The warning is up. Let me read that whole paragraph again because it sounds so good to my soul. It's like listening to music. Allah Akbar. That's why I can talk bold. Well, I die today. It don't matter. It's going to happen. It said the white man must return to Europe and concentrate on that continent for his future. That's where you got to go. Next time they tell us to go back to Africa, then we're going back to Europe. Where you come from. Where your ancestors come from. We're glad to take Africa over Europe. Y'all ain't got nothing there. What the hell you got? Huh? That's what I thought. Not a damn thing. Or else concentrate on his death instead of his life. Allah said you got to go. If you don't want to take that out, take that deal. That would be justice, so he says, for you. Otherwise, concentrate on your death. I just say I was going to kill you. Allah said he's going to kill you. Understand? But they can no longer rule the black man. Your time is up, black man. I mean, white boy. Black man, get this in your mind, brothers and sisters. Teach your children to be rulers. Understand? The black man now knows where his home is. And he now is rising up to take possession of that which is his. All praise is due to Allah. I'm in time and on time. That's why I say it's takeover time, black folks. Understand? And this is a tremendous ordeal and very formidable task at hand. But Allah is with us. If we take on this task, Allah gonna help us. Understand? Because it's in accordance with his will. Black man, black woman. We're in the will of the accord of Allah. These are the days now. All we got to do is stand up. Stand straight up. Qualify ourselves. Get our morals and values in check now. Start thinking like a God. Start acting like gods. Start elevating your culture to its highest level. Stop following the way of the Caucasian and his devilish ways. Cover yourself back up. Put the weed down. Put the Cavassier down. And the Patron. Stop taking all these pills. The brother said he got out of jail, man, and he said, brother, you say I used to get up early in the morning and I had a plan mapped out for my day, even though I was locked up. Say my mind was clear. But he said, damn. He said, I got up every day. I would go to work even though I wasn't making no money, but a little change. But he said, damn, I had to go back to the ways when I was locked up. Because he said everybody on a pill, a drug, some liquor, or something. Everybody out their mind, everybody tripping. People talking about what they used to do in the days. Some people ain't doing nothing. He said, at least I was getting up and doing something every day in a positive, constructive way. I was at least working. He said, that's the way you got the program when you come back out to the streets. He said, don't change, stay the same way, stay down. He said, then you got to separate yourself from the community. He said, you got to stay away from all of that because it's straight madness now. We moving in the wrong direction. Everybody on that syrup, on that lean, lips all messed up, eyes all yellow, jaundice. He said most of the women, all they doing is prostituting. No pun to those that don't. Understand? They selling their body for a bag. Can't trust none of them no more. Everybody looking for a bag. You dig? This is what the brother say coming out the jailhouses of America. Understand what I'm trying to tell you? So we got to change. We got to master self. One for your brothers and sisters, what you want are good. Then we got to go for power now. We got to go for established institutions that belong to us, ownership. There's nothing wrong with getting a job, but your plan should be going into ownership, pooling our resources so we can bring in the things that's conducive to our community so we become independent, setting up a protection force, protect what we got, setting up a force where we can go in our community and straighten out some of these youngins that they call themselves. Like the also call them tippy-toe soldiers. Just pull up and appear like the ghost or the spook to sit beside the door. Understand? No, man, we got to do this. Some of y'all was calling for the National Guards to come in to do the job that you're afraid to do. Do the job that you should have been taken up as a responsibility to set up some type of institutions so our young people had something they could have drawn from. But they ain't got a damn thing but a voting every 2 to 4 years. That's it. That's the only damn thing you all done left for our young people. So I don't completely condemn them. But some of them got to be talked to and set down. And sometimes you might have to threaten them. Because some of them don't listen. I haven't met them. You understand? But what if the will of the law gonna be? This is just PopKeys coming to you tonight, letting you know America is doomed. Its time is up. This is not racism. This is just fact. You see them hedging closer and closer to fight one another when they killed them 2 political leaders in Minneapolis. There wasn't no outcry because they wasn't part of the MAGA movement or the white nationalist movement. The white nationalists run America now. Just a simple fact. They in charge of America now. They're gonna fight over who's gonna control it. The Zionists or the white nationalists. That's where the battle gonna come down to. That's what they mean when they talk about civil war. I say y'all fight, but we have to be prepared for the fight so we can sustain ourselves when these people go to fight one another. You understand? Because it's already been predicted and prophesied for what's coming. So we have to become soldier in and soldier out and guys of the land and to take over. So I say, Muhammad. I say Muhammad. I say Muhammad got the devil on the run. Run, devil, run. Up, 2, 3, 4. Another devil down tonight, black folks. It's our time now. Y'all can take this and let it alone. You young soldiers out there, pay heed to the word. Unite and come together, work together, stay fit, stay dangerous, stay smart and intelligent. Stay out the way of your open enemy. Lay low. Be like them little bees making honey in the belly of the dead cows. You understand? It's takeover time. So thank you all that came in tonight. Appreciate you all for coming in and share. Hit the like button, pass it on. And let's get busy and execute these teachings now. There's no more damn excuses. So thank you, and good night. Allah Akbar.